So good morning to all of you. Today we'll go for the next point, that is your file organization and access. So what is actually file organization? File organization and access. So what are the different types of file organization? How to access that file? So types of file organization. First one is your serial organization. Second one is sequential access. Third one is index sequential organization access. Fourth one is a direct access or random access. So we'll go for the first one, that is your serial file organization. So file is nothing but the collection of records. So how the records are stored, that are specified, and how those records are accessed by the user. So that is specified by the file organization as a records. So here a collection of record in a serial file organization. There is no any particular sequence of records. You can store in any sequence in a serial. Whichever data comes serially, we are storing in a serial manner. So there is no any particular sequence of storing the records. So cannot be used as a master. This file cannot be used as a master, because if you want to find any number or any record starting with F, as it is stored in a serial, F may be at the last also. So starting from the initial means your first record till you get the record starting with F, you should go on searching in a serial file organization. Used as a temporary transaction file. Serial file organizations are used for temporary transaction file. Then records stored in a order received. Records are stored in the order they are received. So which order? Suppose your Z comes first, then it will store the starting, then likewise A comes last, so it will store the last. So records stored in a order they are received. Then second type of file organization is your sequential file organization. So what happens here, sequential file organization? So we are following some chronological order in which the file will be stored. So it is again the collection of records stored in a key sequence. Stored in a key sequence. It is not stored randomly or the serially. So it is based on the key sequence. Suppose you go for chronological order, starting with A till the Z, the records will be stored. Adding, deleting records require making new file. Use as a master file, which is not in the case of serial file organization. So this is the beginning of the file. So record 1, record 2 to record n. So then end of the file. So this is the end of the file. So record termination. 2 records will be terminated here. You can see here we are terminating the record. So this is a sequential file. Then what are the advantage of sequential file? It is simple file design. It is a simple file design. Then very efficient when most of the records must be processed. So you go for the example of payroll system, in which the records can be processed in a simple way, or you can say we can access the record in a chronological order simply. So it is very efficient when most of the records must be processed. Very efficient if the data has a natural order. Can be stored on inexpensive devices like magnetic tape. So we can store, the storage is simple, we can store this data in a magnetic tape. And what are the disadvantage of sequential file? Entire file must be processed, even a single record is to be searched. So if you want to search the record, you should go for starting with initial until you get the record. So searching of record, searching a single record, we should process the entire file. Transaction have to be stored before processing. Transaction have to be stored before processing. Overall processing is slow. Then third one is a direct file or random file organization. Records are read directly from or written on the file. Then the records must be stored at known addresses. So what is a known address? So the address means we are specifying that this file should be stored at this directly at this location. So that location should be known. So records are stored at the known addresses. Address is calculated by applying the mathematical function to the key field. So, for example, we'll go for the hash function. So address is calculated by applying the mathematical function to the key field. So we can store the record. Then the random file would have to be stored on a direct access backing storage medium. Example, magnetic disks, then your CDs and DVDs. Example, any information retrieval system. Now the example for this direct access is train timetable system. So here the records can be directly accessed from the random file. So suppose the hash key is 25. So we'll go for the that key 25, and based on that we can directly access the record of 25. Then what are the advantages of random file? Any record can be accessed directly. You can access any record directly. Speed of record processing is very fast. You do not have to search for the entire file. So the speed of record processing is very fast. Specific file or specific record can be easily accessed. Up-to-date file because of online updating. As it is on a direct access, files are up to date because they are updated online. Then concurrent processing is possible. So simultaneous or parallel processing, simultaneous execution or simultaneous processing is possible in a direct access file. The two processes can work simultaneously. Then what are the disadvantages of direct access file? So more complex than sequential. So implementation of direct access is quite difficult than the sequential file. So it is more complex, does not fully uses memory location. More security and backup problems are there. So security regarding to direct access and backup problems are more. Then the next type of file organization is your index sequential file. So each record of the file has a key field which uniquely identifies that record in a index sequence. So here we are making two files. First one is for index and second is for your records. So index will point to that record. So it is index sequential. Records will be stored in a sequential manner, and we are pointing to the it will point by the index file. So each record of a file has a key field which uniquely identifies that record. An index consists of key and address. So here one index file will be there. That file index will consist of a key and the address of that file. Based on the key, we can find location and the address of that file. Index sequential file is a sequential file that is stored into the order of key field which has an index. So we are having the index which will have the index sequential file, and records are stored in a sequential way, stored in a key field. A full index to file is one in which there is an entry for every record. So full index file will consist of the entry of the record which will be find from the index file. So this is a key definition. So this is a primary index, employee name. So here we are specifying that is the Adams. Then so what is here Adams? Then we are writing the record. So assume one record per bucket here. So here we can go then Clark. So Clark record, then John's record, then Smith record, and here will be a Raymond record. So this is the data records of this which we can point based on this key. So this is a index sequential file. Index sequential files are important for application where data needs to be accessed sequentially. So where we are using this index sequential in which the records must be, or the application data needs to be accessed sequentially or randomly using the index. So we are accessing record randomly by using the index. We can go to anyone. So here, suppose I want to go for your Taylor. So here Taylor record will be here. So directly access the record of Taylor. So starting with A till your W. Sequentially, we are storing the records. Starting with chronological order A to W. So randomly using the index. Then an index sequential file can only be stored on a random access devices, that is your magnetic disks or CDs. Then what are the advantages of random access file? It provides flexibility for users who need both types of access with the same file. Then faster than sequential file. So we can directly access sequential, you should go for start to end. But in this random access, we can directly go to that specific record. So it is faster than sequential file. Then what are the disadvantages of random access? Extra storage space for index is required. Yes. So we are specifying two. So index will have a specific space will be required for index, and record will consist of another space. So extra storage space is required for index is required. Okay. So this is nothing but your different types of file organization.